everybody. It's David Nellis for Foodie the Beast and my guest co-host, David Hagedorn of the Washington Post.
We've got the folks from Shepherd Mansion in Hanover, Pennsylvania coming in, and the superstar chefs, Michael and Brian Voltaggio.
And Sarah Von Pollaro is in. We're doing floral decorating. And all the way from New York City, one of the great bartenders in America, DUANE FERNANDEZ Jr., all here on Foodie the Beast. Stay with us. Planet Wine. It's like having your own wine cellar right in the heart of Del Rey. More than 700 bottles of domestic and imported wines offer something for every occasion and budget. For fine wines and more, there's a whole planet. Planet Wine in Del Rey. With us all the way, I just got off the train from New York, is DUANE FERNANDEZ Jr., who was a top finalist from Season 2 of NBC TV's reality show, The Search for America's Top Bartender. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
You alive? Are you awake?
I am. It was beating the clock trying to get here.
You made
the traffic.
it, and I like you. You can stay. You're a cool dude. You'll just stick around. You come live at our house, hang out.
I'm here. I'm here all day.
So. All right. And you're going to be doing stuff with frangelico and Russian standard vodka. We're going to hear about all that. And, you know, actually, let's start with you. We got to start with the show. Tell us, you know, we got about 3 minutes here. Just give us a fast one over. How did all that happen?
You know, I was never taught how to bartend, and so, but I was thrown behind a bar one night, and they started
thrown like in a fight, or
no, no, just put behind the bar.
Checking.
They needed some help, and so instead of me knowing recipes, I just started putting recipes together, and people started noticing, and I started creating cocktails, and here I am today in DC. My first time in DC doing the program. I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm glad to have you. So. All right, so you're in mixing up things with frangelico and Russian standard vodka. You know, this is not bull hockey. I love frangelico, but I always have it straight up or on the rocks.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I know, but I mean, it never occurred to me that, you know, anybody could do anything else with it.
Well, you know, that's the great thing about, you know, the craft of the cocktail that's making its, you know, that's era back.
I like that. That's very alliterative, the craft
of the cocktail. You know, and so what we're doing is really going back to those, you know, old classic recipes from the late 1800s to the 1900s. And if you know, frangelico is over 300 years old. So, you know, there's a lot of recipes with that spirit in it, and I'm so happy to make some for you today.
Well, what are you going to make first?
Well, today I'm going to start off with a classic Moscow Mule, but I'm going to amp it up and make it a holiday version. So I'm going to add fresh ginger, rosemary, cranberry, fresh cranberries, and of course ginger beer, Russian standard vodka, citrus, and agave nectar.
You know, the great thing about this show is that you can get cranked. I love it.
Well, I'm hoping by the end of the hour we'll all be in a much better mood.
Well, I'm in a good mood now. I got no problem. All right, so why don't you get to work and don't worry about the ice and the noise and all that. Do your thing.
All right.
And Kathy and Andy, let's get you guys in here. Kathy Shepherd HOAR is the owner and the chief cook and bottle washer, not chief cook, but bottle washer and boss woman of Shepherd Mansion up in Hanover, Pennsylvania. And Andy Little is the executive chef. And I'm going to let Hagedorn say stuff because you went up there and you spent the night and you had a meal, and he's a tough audience. When he comes back, first of all, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
But when he comes back making happy noises, it's a good place. So say something.
That's true. I went with Amanda McClements from Metricurian, a good friend of the Nellises in this program. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, when we went up there to Hanover, which is the snack food capital of the United States.
Did you bring me back pretzels or no?
Don't be an utz. You know, we really didn't know what to expect. And then it's this beautiful house, and the rooms are beautiful, and everyone was so gracious. But it was when we took the first bite of food, Amanda and I looked at each other, and we were like, whoa, this guy's for real.
Well,
and it was just an amazing meal.
Right there. Right? All right, so Kathy, tell us. I mean, I know the backstory here, but give us the 411 on Shepherd Mansion.
Well, the house was actually built by my great-grandparents in 1913, and they lived in the house until they passed on in 1960. And from the time my great-grandmother passed on in 1960 until I was kind of out of college and looking for something to do, the house was fully furnished but unoccupied. Oh. So there was still food in the basement, clothes in the drawers. It was kind of creepy.
What kind of food was in
mincemeat and applejack from 1926. I mean, it was when we cleaned out the basement, there were some fun smells, cures for diseases, that kind of thing going on.
Or diseases themselves.
Or diseases themselves. So anyway, as a family, we decided to undergo this restoration renovation project and restore it back to its 1913 grandeur, I guess. And so it's kind of this wonderful little time capsule. And what makes it so interesting is that it's the continuity of all of the things there, the rugs, the chandeliers, the pieces of furniture that you collect over a lifetime of just kind of living, that reflects the personal tastes of the individuals who live there. That's all there.
I'm going to have to jump in, sorry, because we've got to take a break. Somebody's got to pay for the show, right? So this is David Nellis and David Hagedorn. It has a certain alliterative value to it.
Not in that order.
On Foodie and the Beast, we'll be right back with Kathy Sheppard-HOAR and Andy Little, and we'll tell you about what we're eating. Back in a minute. The phrase neighborhood restaurant means convenience, but not necessarily style or good taste. But in DC's West End, Circle Bistro, Notte Bianche, and Dish Plus Drinks take neighborhood dining to new levels. Circle Bistro offers contemporary French-inspired cuisine. Dish has new twists on American classics. And Notte Bianche is the perfect Italian trattoria. The Kennedy Center is just steps away, so pre- and post-theater dining is enjoyable and convenient. Dish, Notte Bianche, and Circle Bistro. There's good taste in the neighborhood. We are back on Foodie and the Beast with David Nellis and my lovely co-host David Hagedorn from the Washington Post.
Howdy do.
The legendary Washington Post. And we're talking Sheppard Mansion up in Hanover, Pennsylvania. Kathy, we got a couple of minutes left. I want to make sure that everybody gets the 411 on the mansion at the end of this deal, but I want you to talk about the market that you just opened up.
So the Carriage House Market is located immediately behind the mansion, and what we do is we are trying to share some of the sources that we use in the restaurant. All of the food that we actually sell in the market is sourced from within 100 miles of Hanover, so if you truly are of that buy local, support your local farmer kind of thing, it's a one-stop shop. So you can buy our beef there, you can buy Rutland Farms pork and chicken, you can buy the free-range eggs, you can buy glass bottle dairy, from a local dairy.
Is it local folk mostly, or do you, because how far is Hanover from here? About 90 minutes?
Yeah, 90 minutes.
90.
David Bo Romsberg from Rutland Farms was bringing the chickens in the door when we were there.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And the cheese they make there too, amazing stuff.
That's I think Washingtonians are there's that tendency, like if you live in Potomac, to think that Bethesda's out of town and that kind of thing. But these kinds of places are really worth the hike, even for a day trip. What a great way to spend a Sunday and come up there and see all those furry cattle and everything.
Yep.
Let me ask you something quickly. I want to make sure people know exactly where Hanover is known as the snack capital of the world because of Utz and all the
It is. It is 45 minutes north of Frederick, so it's really not that much further. You can go up 15 and cut over. We're about 15 minutes east of Gettysburg, so it's just a little bit out of the way, but it's country. It's beautiful. Very slow rolling hills, a lot of horse farm.
And how do we find you on the web?
SheppardMansion.com.
Yeah, that's it.
Pretty easy.
Andy, want to say anything else?
Yeah, I come down into the to the markets in DC, and a lot of the people that we work with come down to the DC markets. DuPont Circle. The great thing about Sheppard Mansion is you can come to us and really get a true taste of the area. That's what we're trying to do. You already get to cook with the great products at home. Come up on a weekend. Take a couple days off in the week and taste the products in their own home, close to home, and really get that flavor of the area.
What about kids? Because, we have two little... are kids cool up there, or is it really not a kid's place?
It depends on the kid. I don't let my own children run around the house, so all depends on what...
All right. How well, we have a cattle prod, so we're good.
Okay. Shock collars?
Zap them into... Yeah, okay. It's great. Good. Well, listen, guys, thank you for hiking down here.
Having us.
And, Andy, this is my first encounter with your food, and this was yummy.
Well, come see us.
I'd be licking the bowl if we weren't going to be on TV. Trust me. Thanks for joining us. We'll bring in Sarah von Pollaro, who is going to... We're going to do floral decorating. You hear me stuttering.
Calm down.
Sarah's with Urban Petals. Sarah, first of all, you come from a family of entrepreneurs. We've had Sam, your husband, in on the show. How did you get into this biz?
I've always loved flowers. I mean, I've been a flower person my whole life, and
were you a flower child, actually?
yes, actually,
You're
I think if you asked my
that.
parents, I probably was. But I decided to pursue it when I was in college. I apprenticed with 2 designers in New York, and just loved it. So I learned sort of the basics from them, and it took me a little while to decide to start my own business. But
well, I got a question for you, because you're working in a medium. You know, it's an art form, obviously, but you're working in a medium where things die very quickly and they turn brown and all that. So what kind of limitations and what kinds of stress does all that impose on you?
There's a lot of stress. It's actually just like food in that sense, right? You can't, if you want to have the freshest ingredients to serve to your customers, you have to go, source them the day before or the day of. You don't want them sitting around or frozen varieties. So, we just did a bunch of events yesterday for the Kennedy Center Honors, and it required basically working around the clock for the last couple days, and to get them all done in time with the freshest ingredients. That's what you do. So,
but you can maintain them if you take care of them. They
coolers,
really can last.
That's right, and you can make arrangements last at home for a week or even 2 weeks with some of the things I'm going to share with you today.
All right, well, why don't we get into it, because we've got a couple of minutes here, and go ahead, make me a floral designer.
Okay.
I dare you.
I'm very excited.
I dare you.
I've taught thousands of people, and there's no one I can't teach, so watch out, all right?
They say something about old dogs and new tricks, so go ahead, David, say it.
No,
wait,
too
we're the same
easy,
age,
too
it doesn't
easy.
matter. No.
Yeah, you guys, okay, first of all, you need the proper tools, okay? Like a chef's knife. Here are your fancy
David
Japanese
proper
clippers.
tool.
They're sharp, okay? So you got to be careful. That's important. The proper tools are crucial because it makes it easier to
Is it
cut
okay
with.
to cut your friends with these?
You could. You do.
That's absolutely the same rule in cooking. You have to use the proper.
That's right. You have to have the proper tools. So I think these are the best clippers, and you're going to feel it when you cut with them. Scissors and other things crush the stems, all right, which inhibits water absorption. So I know I just want to show you this, and I'll talk through. At the bottom of a stem of a rose here, there are little capillaries, and that's how the water goes in. If they are clogged up or smashed, water doesn't go in your flowers.
So I've always heard you had to cut them on an angle. Is that true?
No.
Okay. What I've heard is a lie.
It's helpful, but the most important thing you can do is recut the stems every day or every other day, okay? Because that opens it up. It's like, this is gross, but it's like a scab forms over the end, and you want to open it up every day so water can go in.
Do you need to do it under running water?
That can be helpful to stop water bubbles that can go up, but what I tell people is not absolutely, because that stops people from doing it.
Right.
Most important thing is just recut. Doesn't matter if it's not underwater, and change the water. Flowers like fresh water.
Are there certain kinds of flowers that are just better to work with? Because it seems to me the little dainty, delicate ones would probably just go first.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you can sort of tell if they're hardy by looking at them, right? Or touching them. If they're stiff stems, I've got one here that we're going to use that's called Leucadendron Safari Sunset. All right, it's tough. This thing
Safari Sunset.
Thank you, Carol Channing.
For like weeks. I mean, but you can feel, you can look at it. It's not.
But see, this is a great flower for like a cheap guy like me. I get these for Nikki, and they hang around for a couple of months, and I look like a sport still.
That's right.
I like it.
That's right. And this is my goal is, imagine if you arrange the flowers for her. Sure. I think you're a rock star then.
Yeah,
right?
it's probably not going to happen. But
it's not going to work.
Come on. I'm going to show you how. But yeah, sometimes garden flowers just don't last that long in your house. So you don't feel bad. You do what you can, and if they die, they die.
All right, so we've got about a minute and a half to our break. So let's start real quick and arrange something.
Okay, good thing. All right.
This is you,
so
man.
you both have a vase. All right. Now,
is this an oil vase? Thank you.
It is now.
All right, and what I put in it is a tea leaf. T-I. Feel this thing. Oh. Okay. This is a
beautiful.
Cool tropical leaf.
But this is not a tea.
It's not tea.
T-I.
Like, you're not going to make
should
tea
we
out
cut
of it.
the bottoms?
Yeah, you're going to cut the bottoms a little bit. Cut. Okay, then, now you don't have to put it in there. I already put it in for you. I just wanted you to get a sense of it. What I do want you to do is trim up a little bit off the side. Just make a little cut or a ribbon out of it. Just keep going. You can't hurt it, and you can't mess it up. All right, that piece you have there,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a little bit of wire.
Okay.
I just want you to make a loop like I did. I prepped some of these for you. Here's some wire. Okay, you can make a loop with the big piece, like David's doing, or with the little piece. I like
Okay.
to make lots of loops. Just loop it in your hand.
We'll be loopy.
Okay?
Loopy. David's good at
Take
loopy.
a little bit of wire
Yeah.
and just like secure it. All right, just
Halfway
wrap
up
around.
or somewhere?
Nah, towards the bottom. Doesn't matter where.
Okay.
Somewhere. You've got your loop.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Great. Okay, then cut the rest of the wire off.
Mama, look at me. I'm a floral decorator.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
All right. Next
So-
up, just leave it. Just leave it down there. Okay. The other thing you need to do is prep your flowers. That's Safari Sunset.
Yeah.
Take one. Pass one down, please.
He's got one.
All right. No, you've got prepped ones
Oh,
because
okay. All right.
these are for you to prep. See that? Here's what happens. It's important that I teach people. You have to break down the flower. So it came like this. You want to pull all the lateral pieces off so that you can get at least.
Oh, that's how you stretch your arrangements,
That's
too.
right. From one stem, we get many. Then do this. Look. It's so fun.
Just peel
clean
all
it.
those off?
It just comes right off.
Now they're going to love us in the studio.
I know. We're gonna clean up.
That's so these leaves don't go below the water line
That's
and
right.
get all gunky.
All right,
So
we cut the bottom, correct?
You can. Well, yeah, and actually, I've got you some that are already prepped for you,
Okay.
but you would cut it. So you feel that? All
Yeah.
right, you've got those done, cleaned.
Yeah.
The other reason why you want to get the leaves off is two things. David said one, that if underneath the water line it creates bacteria. The second thing is, check it out. As the water's traveling up the stem, if it stops to hydrate the greenery, it doesn't go to the top
Right.
every day.
Here, let me get this for the. All right, Sarah,
Yeah,
we got
you
about
see this?
45 seconds.
Okay.
So I think one of the great things that I read about you, because you've got a heart, you work with Paul Newman's group and all of that, is
Mm-hmm.
that when you're done with all these floral decorations, you make sure they go somewhere the next day and do some good. Yeah?
That's right. Absolutely. So last night, after I mentioned we did some arrangements for a big luncheon for the Kennedy Center, we took them to a women's shelter, and it was so much fun because, these arrangements sit on the table for 3 hours. They look beautiful in front of the guests, but they're still good afterwards. And I just can't stand the thought of them going in the trash or.
Well, that
you
would
know,
be
going away.
criminal.
Exactly.
If they can brighten somebody's life, it's beautiful.
You got it. So we choose different nonprofits and take them there, and it's really fun.
Well, so tell everybody how to reach you on Urban Petals.
Right. So just go right to the website. It's really simple, urbanpetals.com. And I'm excited to tell you on Tuesday you can buy some toolkits, these great tools that I've showed you today, in Whole Foods.
Awesome.
So,
Oh, well, that's terrific.
Yeah. So you'll see them there next
Look
to
at
the
you. You're
flowers.
becoming a conglomerate.
I'm working on it.
All right, good. Well, listen, say hi to Sam for us, and thanks
will.
so much for coming in. All right, guys, I'm going to have to jump in because we've got to take a quick break. We're talking to chefs, cookbook authors, and TV stars, Brian and Michael Voltaggio, and we're talking about their new book, Volt Inc., and we'll be back on Foodie and the Beast in 2 seconds. Planet Wine in Del Rey is more than just 700 great wines. There's also a stellar selection of craft beers picked by Greg Engert, one of Food and Wine's favorite. Hey, everybody, we're back on Foodie and the Beast with David Nellis and my buddy David Hagedorn from the Washington Post. Before we get back to the show, I just want to quickly thank the folks that support the show and make it possible to be on the air. The guys at Georgetown Bagelry, the folks at Neighborhood Restaurant Group, that's Rustico and Vermilion and Buzz Bakery and Birch and Barley and Church Key, our friends at Founding Farmers, the folks at Notte Bianchi Dish Circle Bistro, the Bethesda Central Farm Market, which was hopping this morning when I drove by, our friends at Charles Schwartz and Son Fine Jewelers, and our newest sponsor, Carmine's. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's a delicious meatball.
Yeah, okay. So now we've got Brian and Michael Voltaggio on the phone. And guys, we've been talking about your new cookbook, Volt Inc. I want to talk about Lunchbox and some other things. We got about 5 minutes left. But I want to make sure everybody listening knows how to find your cookbook online or in bookstores. So somebody do the promo.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely find our book in a Williams Sonoma. We've been doing some signings with them. As well, you can go to Amazon, but also go to either to Michael's Restaurant Inc. in L.A. And his restaurant EXEC. You can pick it up there, direct copy. That way, you can actually get them to sign it. That, or you could go to voltrestaurant.com and I can actually mail them out too, and or you can stop in a restaurant. So all of those are good. But if you're looking to get a signed copy, then go into the restaurants.
That's page 20 on the Williams Sonoma catalog.
Yeah.
We've got it right here.
Okay.
Yeah,
You guys are
exactly.
going global.
Now, you guys, I don't want people to have the impression that all you do is this highfalutin stuff. I mean, you've just opened Lunchbox, Brian, and where you're making sandwiches that are like $4 and $5.
Okay, well, Lunchbox just opened yesterday, and we just opened for service about 10 minutes ago. And so it seems to be going really well. We're doing quick sandwiches, pressed hot sandwiches. We have 5 to 6 different menu selections every day. The menu is going to stay fluid. We wanted to open. It was an existing coffee shop. We went in and just, really just reface it and open quick because we wanted to offer something that was quick, fun, easy. For the family on the go. We're right next to the Frederick Library, so if families are coming down to the library, it's definitely an easy way to stop in and get something great, hot, and wholesome.
Well, the thing,
soups and salads and really, really simple menu.
Our listening audience is in Metro DC, and I think for a lot of people, Frederick seems like, a faraway place. We've started coming down there. South Market Street is unbelievable. You've got a beautiful restaurant, Volt, right there on Market Street. But Frederick is a great getaway place for a fast, it's like going to another world. And now there's another great eatery. Why simple foods? Why sandwiches? Because that's not your MO.
Well, no, but one thing that was very popular is we had a $14 price fix lunch that we're doing at the bar, and we started doing that for the downtown business person or a casual shopper who was just looking for a quick bite to eat. Nothing super fancy to say the least, and so we are planning on closing for lunch, and we are starting January 1st. Except for Saturdays and Sundays, we're going to remain open at Bolt. So I still wanted to offer that same style of lunch. I wanted people to have something that was quick, easy, be able to get in 15 minutes or 20 minutes or so and get out.
Yeah, listen, Brian, unfortunately, we got to get going because the show's about to end, but you've been great. I really appreciate your coming on. We lost Michael. We'll connect with him again, and best of luck because I remember meeting you when you were exec chef at Charlie Palmer at the very beginning, and you have come a long way in a short time, so congratulations on all that.
And he's a mensch.
Well, thank you.
And you're a good guy. All right, man. We'll see you up there in Frederick shortly. All right.
All right. See you soon.
All righty. Bye.
Bye, Brian.
Dwayne, let's get back to you, man, because this last drink was unbelievable.
Thank you. That's my From Russia to America with Love. And I combined, of course, Russia Standard vodka with this wonderful spirit called Snap Spirit and Harvest Song Golden Fig Jam, which you can get at harvestsongventures.com, which is all organic, based out of New York City. And before we close out the show, I'm going to finish off with this wonderful frangelico and Russia Standard vodka neat. I'm going to heat it up, and I call it By the Fireplace.
What? Together in the same?
Together, yes.
Awesome.
It's like that after dinner drink, and we're going to pair it off with these fantastic Marie Belle truffles that are, they made a special edition just for frangelico. So it's like that hazelnut liqueur with vanilla bean and coffee with these wonderful truffles that we're going to pass out shortly. If I could just say this,
sure.
All these recipes plus the 2 that we didn't make on air are on my Twitter handle at urbancocktailtwitter.com.
All right, you got a website too?
I do not. I'm actually,
how can you be a child of
it's all happening right now.
20s.
2012 is definitely
that's what everybody
my year.
says. It's in development, right? All right. Well, listen, we want to thank everybody, Duane Fernandez and Michael and Brian Voltaggio and Kathy Sheppard HOAR and Andrew Little, and last but not least, by any means, Sarah Von Pollaro for these beautiful floral arrangements that I never could have done. So that's it. David Hagedorn, thanks.
And go check out Sarah at Whole Foods Market at 6 o'clock on Tuesday, where she is launching her kits and these beautiful flower arrangements.
And Sarah's nice. She's got a big smile, and she's a great person. So thanks. All right, so we'll be back next week, and Nikki will be back in here with me. This is Foodie and the Beast. Thanks for joining us. And what does Nikki say? Have a delicious week?
She says, David, leave me alone.
Bye.